Nuclear reactors continue the long human tradition of digging stuff out of the ground to burn it. However, with fissile uranium-235 giving a yield of around 3.5 million times more energy per kilogram than coal, it's obviously the more interesting material to play around with, even if there is the slight risk of possibly getting cancer. Energy is released in nuclear reactors by bombarding a fissile fuel with neutrons to cause the nucleus to split, releasing energy and some more of those neutrons. This chain reaction continues until you have enough power to illuminate the entirety of Guernsey, or you've removed a sizable chunk of the surrounding landscape. Obviously, this kind of power attracts the type of people who wouldn't particularly mind removing a sizable chunk of the other country's landscape. Since the 60s and 70s were the heyday of peace, love and nuclear weapons, no large nuclear reactors have been built for 30 or so years. So, on to safety features. Since the chain reaction releases excess neutrons per fission event, it can be a bit of an issue keeping the reaction rate stable instead of exponentially increasing. After all, the natural state of a large lump of uranium-235 is to cease becoming a large lump of uranium-235 and rapidly become a large crater. The absorption of excess neutrons is taken care of by heat-resistant control rods, typically made of boron or graphite, which present a physical barrier to the neutrons on their way to the nearest uranium-235 nucleus. Raising the rods allows more fission events to occur, giving a higher energy output. Lowering the rods lowers the output. Do not remove the rods. Much of the safety of the reactor can in fact be guaranteed by its location. For example, building the power plant far from civilization, such as the Hunterston reactor on the west coast of Scotland, or at Chernobyl. Oh, wait a second. There is one fundamentally different kind of nuclear reactor that I've ignored entirely, but that's because the fusion reactor doesn't actually work yet, so the question of safety is pretty much irrelevant. Much like this explanation that I've been trying to convey. Over and out.